Welcome, my dear students, to Standard 10th class Science and Technology Part 2. Today, we are going to learn Life Processes in Living Organisms Part 2. In this, we will learn reproduction, asexual and sexual reproduction, reproduction and modern technology, reproductive health, population explosion. We have studied various life processes in previous classes. All those life processes, that is nutrition, respiration, excretion, sensation and response, that is control and coordination, etc., are essential to each living organism to remain alive. Besides these life processes, one more life process occurs in living organisms. It is reproduction. However, reproduction does not help the organism to remain alive, but it helps to maintain the continuity of the species of that organism. Formation of new organism of same species by earlier existing organism is called as reproduction. Reproduction is one of the various important characters of living organisms. It is also one of the various reasons responsible for evolution of each species. In living organism, reproduction occurs mainly by two methods. Those two methods are asexual and sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction, process of formation of new organism by an organism of same species without involvement of gametes is called asexual reproduction. As this reproduction does not involve union of two different gametes, that is male and female, the new organism has exact genetic similarity with the reproducing organism. It is uniparental, that is only one parent is involved in this reproduction, and it occurs by mitotic cell division. No involvement of genes is a drawback of this reproduction, whereas it is a fast process. Asexual reproduction in unicellular organisms, that is organisms with only one cell, occurs as follows. First, binary fission, second, multiple fission, and third, budding. Asexual reproduction in multicellular organisms, that is organisms with many cells, is as follows. First, fragmentation, second, regeneration, third, budding, fourth, vegetative propagation, fifth, spore formation. Now, let's study the types of reproduction in detail. Binary fission. Binary fission is a type of asexual reproduction by which a body is separated into two new bodies. For example, bacteria, amoeba, paramecium, euglena, mitochondria, and chloroplast perform asexual reproduction by binary fission. In this process, the parent divides to form two similar daughter cells. Let's see the division of binary fission in amoeba, paramecium, and euglena. Look at the diagram. The first diagram shows the binary fission of amoeba. The fully grown parent cell amoeba splits up into two equal-sized new cells. Next example is paramecium. Paramecium divides transversely, that is horizontally, and the same procedure is followed by paramecium, wherein two new cells are formed asexually from a single parent cell. Next, third diagram. Euglena undergoes longitudinal binary fission, wherein it divides vertically and two new cells are formed. The binary fission takes place in favorable condition, that is, when abundant food material is available. Multiple fission. The nucleus of the parent cell divides several times, followed by division of cytoplasm to form many daughter cells. Example, look at the diagram. Amoeba showing multiple fission is shown in the diagram. Amoeba stops the formation of pseudopodia, that is false feet of amoeba, and thereby movement of amoeba also stops. Whenever there is lack of food or other adverse condition, that is unfavorable condition, amoeba becomes rounded and forms protective covering around itself. Such encysted amoeba is called as cyst. Many nuclei are formed by repeated nuclear division in the cyst. It is followed by cytoplasmic division, and thus many amoebulae are formed. They remain encysted till there are adverse conditions, that is, when abundant food is available. Cyst breaks open on arrival of favorable conditions, that is, when abundant food is available and many amoebulae are released. Budding. A small bud which will become the daughter cell is formed on the parent, that is mother cell, and enlarges with continued growth. The nucleus divides and migrates into the daughter cell. Look at the diagram which shows budding in yeast. During budding, a mature yeast cell puts out one or more buds, each bud growing bigger and bigger until it finally leaves the mother to start a new life on its own. In this way, many yeast cells are formed out of a single yeast cell. Now we will learn asexual reproduction in multicellular organisms. In that, first one, fragmentation. Fragmentation is a type of asexual reproduction which occurs in multicellular organisms, in which an organism simply breaks into individual pieces at maturity. These individual small pieces then grow into a new organism. Example, as shown in the picture, Spirogyra, a type of algae, undergoes fragmentation which results in many fragments. Regeneration. You may know that the wall lizard breaks up and discards some part of its tail in case of emergency. Discarded part is regenerated or reformed after a period. This is an example of limited regeneration. However, under certain situations, as shown in the diagram, planaria breaks up its body into two parts, and thereafter each part regenerates or reforms remaining part of the body, and thus two new planaria are formed. This is called as regeneration. Budding. Let's take example of Hydra, which is a multicellular small animal which is found in the seabed. In case of Hydra, under favorable conditions, that is when plenty of food is available at specific part of its body, and outgrowth is formed by repeated divisions of generative cells of the body wall. This outgrowth is called as bud. Bud grows up progressively and finally forms a small hydra. Parent hydra supplies nutrition to the budding hydra, which is also called nascent hydra. Budding hydra, that is nascent hydra, separates from the parent hydra and starts to lead an independent life when it grows up and becomes able to lead an independent life. Vegetative propagation. Reproduction in plants with the help of vegetative parts like root, stem, leaf, and bud is called as vegetative reproduction. For example, vegetative reproduction in potatoes is performed with the help of eyes present on tuber, whereas in bryophyllum leaf it is performed with the help of buds present on leaf margin. In case of plants like sugarcane and grasses, vegetative propagation occurs with the help of buds present on the nodes. Plants like carrot and radish perform vegetative reproduction with the help of roots. Spore formation. Fungi like mucor have filamentous body. They have sporangia. Once the spores are formed, sporangia burst and spores are released as shown in the picture. Spores germinate in moist and warm place and new fungal colony is formed. For example, this fungal growth is seen on a piece of a stale bread. Sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction always occurs with the help of two germ cells. Female gamete and male gamete are those two germ cells. Two main processes occur in the sexual reproduction. First, gamete formation. Gametes are formed by the meiosis. In meiosis, chromosome number is reduced to half, hence haploid gametes are formed. Fertilization. A diploid zygote is formed in this process by union of haploid male and female gametes. The zygote divides by mitosis and the embryo is formed. The embryo develops into a new individual. Two parents, that is male and female, are involved in this type of reproduction. Fusion of male gamete of a male parent and female gamete of a female parent occurs. Due to this, new individual always has recombined genes of both the parents. Hence, the new individual shows similarities with the parents for some characters and has some characters different than both parents. Diversity in living organisms occurs due to genetic variation. Genetic variation helps the organisms to adjust with the changing environment and thereby to maintain their existence. Due to this, plants and animals can save themselves from being extinct. Sexual reproduction in plants. Flower is a structural unit of sexual reproduction in plants. It consists of 4 floral whorls as calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium arranged in sequence from outside to inside. Androecium, that is the male part of the flower, and gynoecium, the female part of the flower, are called essential whorls because they perform the function of reproduction, whereas calyx and corolla are called accessory whorls because they are responsible for protection of inner whorls. Members of calyx are sepals and they are green in color. Members of corolla are petals and they are of various colors. A flower is called as bisexual if both the whorls, that is androecium and gynoecium, are present in the same flower. Example, hibiscus A flower is called as unisexual if any one whorl of the above mentioned two whorls is present in the flower. If only androecium is present, it is the male flower, and if only gynoecium is present, flower is female. For example, papaya. Androecium is the male part of the flower, which consists of two parts, filament and the anther lobes. Anther lobes contains pollen grains which produces male gametes. Gynoecium is the female part of the flower which consists of three parts, ovary, style and stigma. In the ovary, ovules are present which contains eggs. Pollination and double fertilization. Pollination. Pollen grains from anther are transferred to the stigma. This is called pollination. Pollination occurs with the help of abiotic agents, that is wind, water, and biotic agents, that is insects and other animals. Double fertilization. Stigma becomes sticky during this process and attracts pollen grains. Pollen grains germinate when they fall upon the stigma and release two male gametes through the pollen tube connected to the embryo sac, that is ovule. In the embryo sac, there are three cells on the upper side as shown in the diagram. The cells are two synergids at the side and an egg cell in the center. In the center of the embryo sac, there is a secondary nucleus or polar nucleus. Down at the bottom of the embryo sac, there are cells called antipodals. When two male gametes reach the embryo sac through stigma, the pollen tube bursts to release two male gametes inside it. The first male gamete unites with the egg and forms a zygote. This is called fertilization. Whereas the second male gamete unites with the secondary nucleus or polar nucleus to form endosperm. This endosperm provides nutrition to the zygote, which transforms into seed for germination of a new plant. As two nuclei participate in this process is called double fertilization. Seed germination. Ovule develops into seed and ovary into fruit after fertilization. Seeds fall upon the ground and fruits break up and they germinate in the soil under favorable conditions. Zygote develops at the cost of the food stored in endosperm of the seed and thus a new plantlet is formed. This is called as seed germination. Human male reproductive system. Male reproductive system of human consists of testes, various ducts and glands. Testes are present in the pouch-like structure called scrotum outside the abdominal cavity. In the testes, male gametes, sperms are produced with the help of the hormone secreted in the testes called testosterone. Sperms produced in the testes are stored in epididymis, and through epididymis they are pushed forward in the tubule called vas deferens. As the sperms are pushed forward from one duct to the next, they become mature and are able to fertilize the ovum. Seminal vesicles secrete their secretion in ejaculatory ducts, whereas prostate and Cowper's glands secrete their secretions in urinogenital duct. Semen is formed of sperms and secretions of all these glands. Semen is ejaculated through the urinogenital duct passing through penis. All the organs of male reproductive system are paired except urinogenital duct, penis and scrotum. Human female reproductive system. All organs of female reproductive system are in the abdominal cavity. It includes a pair of ovaries, a pair of oviducts, single uterus and a vagina. Generally, every month an ovum is released in abdominal cavity alternately from each ovary. Free end of the oviduct is funnel-like. An opening is present at the center of it. Oocyte, that is the egg, enters the oviduct through that opening. Cilia are present on inner surface of the oviduct. These cilia push the oocyte towards the uterus. Gamete formation. Both gametes, that is sperm and ovum, are formed by meiosis. Sperms are produced in testes of men from beginning of maturation, that is puberty, till death. However, in case of women, at the time of birth, there are 2 to 4 million immature oocytes in the ovary of female fetus. An oocyte matures and is released from ovary every month from the beginning of maturity up to the age of menopause, approximately 45 years of age. Menopause is the stoppage of functioning of female reproductive system. At this age of about 45 to 50 years, the secretion of hormones controlling the functions of female reproductive system either stops or becomes irregular. This causes the menopause. Fertilization. Formation of zygote by union of sperm and ovum is called fertilization. Fertilization is internal in humans. Semen is ejaculated in vagina during copulation. Sperms in the numbers of few millions start their journey by the route of vagina, uterus, oviduct. One of these few million sperms fertilize the only ovum present in the oviduct. From the age of puberty up to the menopause, from 10 to 17 years of age up to 45 to 50 years of age, an ovum is released every month from the ovary. That is, out of 2 to 4 million ova, approximately only 400 oocytes are released up to the age of menopause. Remaining oocytes undergo degeneration. Menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle is a natural process controlled by 4 hormones: follicle stimulating hormone FSH, luteinizing hormone LH, estrogen and progesterone. One of the several follicles, that is fluid-filled sac-like structure in the ovary, starts to develop along with the oocyte, that is egg, present in it. This development is due to the hormone secreted by the follicle called follicle stimulating hormone FSH. This development starts from the 5th day of the period of menstruation. As the follicle moves forward towards the lining of the uterus, it starts secreting a hormone known as estrogen, which helps to build the endometrium. Endometrium is the mucous membrane lining the uterus in preparation for possible implantation of an embryo. In simple words, bed is prepared for the embryo with nutritious mucus for its survival. While the endometrium is being regenerated or reformed, the developing follicle completes its development. It bursts under the effect of luteinizing hormone secreted by it, that is the follicle. an oocyte or egg is released. This is called ovulation. Now, remaining part of the follicle forms corpus luteum. This corpus luteum starts secreting hormones such as progesterone and estrogen. Progesterone and estrogen helps in making the endometrium strong with nutrition. Such endometrium is ready for implantation of embryo. If oocyte or egg is not fertilized within 3 days, the corpus luteum becomes inactive and transforms into corpus albicans. Due to this, secretion of estrogen and progesterone stops completely. Endometrium starts to degenerate in absence of these two hormones. Tissues of degenerating endometrium and unfertilized ovum are discarded out through the vagina. This is accompanied with continuous bleeding. Bleeding continues approximately for 4 to 5 days. This is called menstruation. Unless the oocyte is fertilized and embryo is implanted, this process is repeated every month. If the embryo is implanted, repetition of the cycle is temporarily stopped till the parturition, that is childbirth, and thereafter period of breastfeeding. Menstrual cycle is a natural process and the women experience severe pain during this period. Severe weakness is felt due to the heavy bleeding. There is high possibility of infections too during the overall period. Due to all these reasons, there is a need of rest along with special personal hygiene. Reproduction and modern technology. Many couples cannot have children due to various reasons. In case of women, irregularity in menstrual cycle, difficulties in oocyte production, obstacles in the oviduct, difficulties in implantation in uterus, and many other reasons are responsible for this. Absence of sperms in the semen, slow movement of sperms, abnormalities in the sperms are the reasons in case of males. But now, with the help of advanced medical techniques like IVF, surrogacy, sperm bank, the childless couples can have a child. In vitro fertilization, that is IVF, in this technique, fertilization is brought about in the test tube and the embryo formed is implanted in uterus of woman at appropriate time. IVF technique is used for having the child in case of those childless couples who have problems like less sperm count, obstacles in oviduct, etc. Surrogacy. Some women have problem in implantation of embryo in uterus. Such women can take the help of the modern remedial technique called as surrogacy. In this technique, oocyte is collected from the ovary of the woman having problem in implantation in uterus. That oocyte is fertilized in the test tube with the help of sperms collected from her husband. The embryo formed from such fertilization is implanted in the uterus of some other woman having normal uterus. Such a woman in whose uterus the embryo is implanted is called surrogate mother. Sperm bank or semen bank. There are various problems in sperm production in case of many men. So as to have the children in such couples, new concept of sperm bank has been introduced. This concept is similar to blood bank. Semen ejaculated by the desired men is collected after their thorough physical and medical checkup and stored in the sperm bank. As per the wish of the needful couple, oocyte of the woman of the concerned couple is fertilized by IVF technique using the semen from sperm bank. Resultant embryo is implanted in the uterus of same woman. Name of the semen donor is strictly kept secret as per the law. Twins. Two embryos develop simultaneously in the same uterus and thus offsprings are delivered simultaneously. Such offsprings are called twins. There are two main types of twins, monozygotic and dizygotic twins. Monozygotic twins are also called identical twins. They result from the fertilization of a single egg that splits into two. Monozygotic twins are always of the same sex. Dizygotic twins. Occasionally two oocytes are released from the ovary of woman and both oocytes are fertilized by two separate sperms and thus two zygotes are formed. Two embryos are formed from those two zygotes and both those embryos are separately implanted in the uterus and thus dizygotic twins are delivered after complete development. Twins are genetically different and may be same of different gender. Reproductive health. A person's state of being physical, mental and social strongness is called as health. In our country, there seems to be lack of awareness regarding reproductive health due to various reasons like social customs, traditions, illiteracy, shyness, etc. Especially, there seems to be indifference towards the reproductive health of women. Occurrence of menstrual cycle is related with reproductive and overall health of women. Nowadays, women work along with the men. Due to this, they have to stay outdoors for the whole day. Bleeding occurs during menstrual cycle. Due to this, private organs, that is genitals, need to be maintained and kept clean. Otherwise, problems regarding reproductive health may arise. Some problems regarding reproductive health may arise in men too. It is essential to maintain the cleanliness of their genitals. Thank you.